question, because we did ask people to submit things through social media, and this one is actually a question for Mr. Dale, but we'll let Mr. Stillwell also respond to it. This is Kristen Smith has a question asking, I have read that both of your opponents support the gas tax. Why are you opposed to it?
Well, a lot of people in Williamson County commute down to Austin. I'd like to see that change. I want to grow more jobs in Williamson County, and my Democrat opponent has said in the Round Rock Leader, he questioned, what about raising gas tax? It has been raised since 1991, and the fuel economy in cars has gotten better. Even the Libertarian in this case, shocking to me, says, when asked about transportation and community impact, said, as a Libertarian, it's hard to say this, but the gas tax would probably need to be increased. So I'm against raising taxes, I'm against raising gas taxes, and I just think this is the MAT tax and it's a bad idea.
Is it a bad idea?
To raise the gas tax?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a bad idea to leave our roads unfunded. For the first time in the history of the state, we're going to spend more on debt service than we are on the maintenance and construction of new roads. The gas tax is the major source of revenue for roads, and if it's not going to be the gas tax, we've got to find a way to build new roads. I've never said that I'm in favor of a massive gas tax increase, but I am in favor of having an honest discussion about what we're going to do to fund our transportation system. There's been a Republican idea floated about raising the vehicle registration fees. That would really serve to fund more bonds and to get our bond rating up, and that's taking on more debt. I would rather not take on more debt. I don't want to see any more toll roads built. So we have a problem in this state with our transportation system, and I'm willing to look for solutions and not just rhetoric.
Well, if I may, I mean,
Sure.
Through my experience on Cedar Park City Council, we know that you can't necessarily wait on the state for everything. We've worked cooperatively with the county. We've worked with the state of Texas to build road projects. You said yourself earlier that the area is booming. There are a lot of new roads in Williamson County, and we've been criticized from time to time for building or improving state roads, sometimes without state funds. But you can't always wait on the state government to take care of you, because it's your community. You have to build your community. I've got experience working with these different levels of government to build roads, and I think it's a model for other parts of the state.
I may, pardon me for skipping over Catherine just for this segment, because I think I remember Mike earlier before we started had a transportation question, and since we're in the area of transportation, I'm going to let you put him on the spot here, but let him find that one, because I know that was something of interest to you.
Yes, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier on toll roads. It's a controversial subject in the legislature. Though most members of the House put a freeze on new private toll roads development, and that was an agreement in the 81st legislative session. Going into the 82nd, there was 50 comprehensive development agreements, CDAs, were added at the last minute. Where do you stand on construction of new toll roads?
Let's start with Mr. Stillwell.
I think that's a problem. I think toll roads have their place in an overall transportation system and solution, but that can't be the only solution, and that's really been the only solution out of a Republican supermajority legislature. I mean, the reason why communities and municipalities are having to build their own and maintain their own roads is because they're not getting money from the state. We're not funding that appropriately, and that shows a lack of leadership. And when you just pass the buck off to private companies to build toll roads, it's not a good solution. Even the Republican state senator, John Corona, said it's more conservative to raise the gas tax than it is to build new toll roads. In the long run, it's going to cost drivers 2 to 3 to 4 times as much as it would to pay increased gas taxes. So, we have to have this conversation in the legislature, and the solution that I'm for is whatever's going to be the least cost to the taxpayer. If that's toll roads, if it's raising the gas tax, if it's raising a vehicle registration fee, if it's redirecting the money that's supposed to pay for other things in the gas tax and finding a way to fill that budget hole somewhere else, we need to do something. Doing nothing is going to cost us more in the long run than inaction is.
Mr. Dale, what do you think?
Well, I don't think the people in the southwest portion of Williamson County are going to be seeing more toll roads. But I can tell you that there is state funding in a lot of projects. 620 is being expanded. There's state dollars associated with that in conjunction with the county. 1431, which runs through Cedar Park, which where I am, there's state money involved with that as well as county money. So these major thoroughfares that are moving people in between the cities of Cedar Park, Leander, Round Rock, and Northwest Austin, I think they're being improved. And that local community involvement is important, and you're just not going to see more toll roads in our area.